partido anterior.
Ah, que hizo el gol el otro día.
El otro día
Que es medio perro.
sí,
No, pero jugó bien.
No, erró ese gol ahí.
El otro día jugó bien.
Pero hoy erró ese
Hoy,
gol ahí.
hoy mal. Cuidado ahí. Había que haberlo matado al que hizo la escalera ahí. ¿Cómo se la pueden haber permitido hacer esa escalera?
Pero ¿por qué no siguió todo esto nunca?
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Alguien tiene que poner la cabeza.
No sabía que había tantos paralíticos. Le faltó estacionamiento, porque pusieron decisión tantos cosas que no se estaciona. Había uno solo. Y se lo sacó María, se lo llevó. Te pusiste vos en el 16.
Vos sabés que antes que vinieran ustedes, tres casi se caen.
¿A dónde? Acá.
Acá, porque está mal hecho esa escalera. Ay,
Muy ancha.
está muy largo, tenía pecho.
Está muy largo, está muy largo.
Y la gente, ¿qué pasa? Metía la pata y le daba.
Un escalón más de...
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing from Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing from Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. welcome to Barton Park. It's match day 7 of the NPL Men's New South Wales for 2025. It's St George FC up against the Wollongong Wolves. What a classic game this shapes up to be. I say a classic game. Yes, some people will be going, oh, look, St George are 11th on the ladder and the Wolves are 6th. But put it in context. St George have been in every game they've played this season. Today is going to be an absolute interesting test for them, and Wollongong have not lost this season. Yes, technically to their name, only 2 wins this year, but still have been one of the form sides of the competition. Let's go through the lineups, starting off with St George FC. Their starting 11, it's Mackenzie Searon, the goalkeeper, and the rest of their lineup. In 3, Troy Danaskos. 4, Mark Rodich. In 5 is Nicholas Caligeru. In 6, Pat O'Shea. Aidan O'Shea is 7. Vangelow Saurus in 8. Jaden Casella 10. Sunday Yona 13. Bay Antonio 15. And Jaden Cito 27. The Wollongong Wolves starting 11. It's Oliver Yates, the 1, the goalkeeper. Harrison Busnell is in 2. 5 is Vanry Kapazumi. In 6, it's James Agnostopoulos. 7, Sim Woon sub. In 17, Marcus Beattie. In 21, Nicholas Olsen. Lachlan Scott, the captain, 24. Alex Mashavecchio in 25. Ben Gierson in 29. And Raphael Leai is in 77. So not too far away from kick-off. Our referee in charge tonight is Jake Rose, Lake Sanchez Cruz, and Rory McFarlane, our assistants. Reese Edwards, the 4th official. Coaches for the Wolves, of course, is Warren Grieve, first season at the club, and same for St George FC coach in Fabian Michelli. Had a good chat with him earlier before. I'll tell you what, his side is primed for tonight as we're about to start kickoff. This, as I said, is an intriguing game between these two sides. For St George, a lot riding on this one. Last week a 3-3 draw against Apia. What was a classic game too, I might add, while the Wolves defeated the Wanderers 4-0 at Berkeley to get their 2nd win of the season. We are underway at Barton Park. This one of the matches of the round, and we've got a classic weekend ahead, but this one has got a lot to live up for us. Danaskos will be watching him with a lot of interest tonight. Last week, 2 goals late in the game. The Wolves trying to penetrate early here. Nicholas Olsen has possession. Ball goes out for a throw, touches off St George last. Antonio, he'll be also looking to have a big game for St George. Throw to be taken by Marcus Beattie. Ball comes back to their own half here for the Wolves. Ball worked on by Gierson. Again, Yates goes back to Gierson. Gierson will utilise Yates. And Ollie Yates, clean sheet last week, will be looking to have another performance like that tonight. As he works it back to his left. Beattie starting today. He's on the right side of the field, just watching him at the moment. Didn't start last week. Just to note, Warren Grieve is a interesting coach, and I say that in a good way in terms of the way as Leon goes forward. Here's a chance for Leon. Takes the shot. Opening goal of the ball game. Wollongong score. Raphael Leon gets the opener. It's a great strike, but it's a great play. He's able to find the gap. He spears through the St George defence. And there was only one way that it was going to go. It was going to go past Mackenzie Searon. And the opening goal goes to Wollongong inside the first 2 minutes. It just did not look like it was going to go any other way. You try to make a point about a play, and then the excitement of that happens. And Raphael Leai just, as I said, he just spears through that defence. Once he was able to find the gap, he takes the shot. It's always going to be easy. So 1-0 after 2 minutes. I was going to mention about the horses for courses style of set up from Warren Grieve. Last week he utilised Beattie on the bench. He's one of those fascinating coaches. Actually speaking to Fabian Michelli before St St George gaffer, and he said Warren Grieve is a tough coach to come up against. So I think it's the case as well. He knows what the task is tonight, what both coaches do is. Now Rodic is back in the squad tonight. We'll be watching him with a lot of interest for St George. Chance here for the Wolves to again go forward. Olsen tried to lob it to the sky. Naskos was able to win possession, works out the middle. Gets to it first time. Ball drops, will be cleared. Looks like Justin Poon also is starting at the moment. So it looks like it because he wasn't named in the starting squad. The teams came out half an hour before kickoff. There obviously has been a change in warm-up. Say, we'll work it out who he's changed for. Now they're on the attack again. Sunday Yoda on the right. Get this Casella ball. Well, he tried to. It was too much on it by Jody Casella. Ball goes out for a goal kick. Trying to work it out here where the late change has been made. Well, St George has been made regardless. Actually, here it is. So Justin Poon starting. 8 of those show was injured in the warm-up. So that's the situation, which is not good news for St George. They were actually missing a few players. They've had to go to the well of the 20s for their bench. There was about 13 players available from their starting squad or something, or from the first grade on-field squad. So very intriguing to note. For St George, so that was the late change. As I said, I thought it was going to be one of the O'Shea's, and it is the case. So Aiden's out of this one. The foul is called. Wollongong have got a chance now. Lei beside the foul. So here's a chance. Nicholas Olsen back on the scorer's sheet last week. The left side of Barton Park. Push it forward. It's headed away by Mark Rodic, and it goes out for a throw for the Wolves. Wolves running towards the Brighton Sands end of the ground. Cooks River end is where St George are running towards. It's the Frank Arick grandstand side. Throw is taken. Couldn't get any control on it, Lachlan Scott. See how many things here making to stop us before losing it. Now St George fire the ball up. The middle goes Bay Antonio. Will be stopped at the back. In Gearson. Now we see Ollie Yates towards the grandstand. Here the noise reverberating around. It's a very good facility here, Barton Park. You're up close and personal with the players. Basically, you almost feel like you can touch them at stages. Santel working it across. Play back by Mark Rodic. Mackenzie Searon works it up the middle. Goes over the top there, Poon. Poon will get possession again for Casella ball. Now Casella trying to head it on. Get hit down by Beattie. And on this left side, it's Poon who works it back. Now Jaden Cito works it across. Mark Rodic moving forward. As I said before, Warren Grieve, who coaching this Wollongong side. He's actually having a chat with Tony Peters, former Channel 10 journalist, and he was having a good chat about Warren Grieve, saying he's a very good coach. We haven't seen likes of him, and he's a very smart operator, which is great to hear. Obviously, been involved in Football New South Wales and the like over the years. David Chile, who is involved in the academy system, obviously coaching St George this year, but was a part of the Bulls, and prior to that, the Wanderers. Learnt off Ian Cook as well. Some great things to say about Ian Cook too. Spoke about how Cookie's philosophy was about game management and did a lot of drills about the game management. It was a good talking point too, having a chat to him about it before. A fair few discussions throughout the afternoon. I'm sort of mixing some of them I've had today. Make sure I get them right. You don't write down the discussions. It's one thing you learn as a broadcaster. Don't write anything. Ball comes across. Here's the, well, B trying to head it away. Poon was really pressuring this Wollongong side as Danaskos gets it in and did clip off Lehigh. Will be stopped by Oliver Yates. Yates will be able to bowl it over to the left side. Sunday Yoda has possession again. Beats Gierson first time. Gierson trying to beat him second time. Yoda works it in. The spin around. Not to be, but I tell you what, he got himself in yet another good spot here, Jaddy Casella. And Casella, he's going to score a goal tonight. You've got the feeling. He's already trying to penetrate early. As we've got a Wolf on the ground here. Forward to lose a player here, Wollongong. We're only playing a... but they are playing a six-man bench. It was named as five
Can't get on that side.
on the team list. Confirmation that they have got a six-man bench. Waiting on this injured player here. That bench, by the way, for the Wolves. Solskjaer is the sub-goalkeeper. Duarte, Gray, Ball, Kelly, and Trachevsky. For St George, Axford, Dunn, Wright, Brewster, and Farrow. Would be Farrow, I should say. And to note that Justin Poon has replaced Aidan O'Shea, who prior to kick-off had an injury. So he was ruled out of the contest. Appreciate the confirmation from the St George club about that. Let us know the situation. In the meantime, he'll be okay here. Sim Woon sub. He'll come back on. Obviously the usual go off and go back on. Corner about to be taken. This will be Casella. Did touch off Wollongong in the process there. As here's the header. Oh, again. He was trying a Troy Danaskos special. Doesn't happen. But the pressure again from St George. Last couple of minutes they've had a chance to bounce back. The ball will go up to halfway. Now Scott tries to penetrate it forward. Danaskos will stop it off here. Lob it up towards halfway. Sunday Yono can't get to it initially. Now the ball will be worked back by Busnell. And it'll be Katazumi who works it over halfway. The ball will eventually bounce back to the goalkeeper, Mackenzie Searon. Scoreline here. 1-0 Wollongong. Now they'll come across to the left. The challenge made on Souris. Danaskos was trying to beat Simwin Sub, I should say. Sub now on this middle, trying to work it on. He does so. A chance for Mashavecchio, who spins around. He'll work it back to the left side to Ben Gierson. Does flick off St George. They'll have possession again. Shea was able to get the ball on, then it's worked forward. Antonio trying to get it on to Casella again, who's their main man in position. So now it's St George who They have possession again. The ball played out by the Wolves. Ball comes back. Cito. Danaskos. Danaskos up the line. Poonell's on the run. Now Casilla wins it. Casilla now. He's up against Busnell. Casilla lays it back. And now it goes towards Saurus. Utilises the support of Jaden Cito. He comes back to the centre. Again, they'll go back to Cito. Rodich getting himself involved with a couple of touches. Cito again will utilise him once more. Rodich able to beat Scott. He worked it to his right. St George, though, will lay it back to Mackenzie Searon. He gets a short ball. O'Shea goes back to Searon. He's going to lob it down this right side. Now on a run, once again is Sunday Yona. Gierson did penetrate it, and it will go out. Did touch off the Wolves' eye, I thought. The referee saying no, it's the last touch by St George. So it will be a goal kick. Gierson may have got a touch on it, but not the case. Sunday Yona, who was driving forward. Goes out. So now, ball comes back. Cito utilising Rodich. Rodich coming back. Danaskos, Cito. So St George in the last couple of minutes has started to really get themselves going after a 1-0 deficit. The back of the goal by Raphael Leite. Now it's a chance once more for Rodich to lay it back. As I said, Rodich will be wanting it to go to his left side, and they've done that now. Danaskos is able to utilise here Poon, touches off Wollongong. Kamagiri was in the middle before. I think I all correctly called Danaskos, but it was Kamagiri back. Corner to be taken by Casella. Left foot out swinger. Scott headed it away. It drops down. It's going to be flipped forward here. Nicholas Olsen. The referee does say it's actually gone out. So the linesman has called it out. You'll find that was called by Sanchez Cruz. Take two, Casella to take this. Outswinger once more. Wollongong trying to clear it, drops down, a shot by O'Shea. Does bounce around. It will be the third straight corner for St George in a row. This situation will be another outswinger by Casella. There's a goal coming, there's no question about it. It's just how they're going to score here, St George. Wollongong's defence has been strong, not lost this season. Ball is worked in, and again, played away. Utilises Casella, who goes back. A short ball too by Saurus. Casella now lays it back in. Danaskos, and now Casella. He tried to cross it back in. Fourth straight corner. Could even be 5 in a row, but in this passage alone, it's 4. Beattie playing it out. There is a goal to be had in the moment. There is no question about it. There is a goal to be had. Will be once more Casilla on the ball. Outswinger. And head of the way by Banri Katazumi. This time we're changing things up a little bit with this corner. We're going back to the other side. Well, there's another river, so we've got a few creeks or rivers around here. It's the Muddy Creek side of the ground. Muddy Creek. You've got to enjoy naming venues and the sides of the ground. Doesn't run a true north-south here. As Casilla again, in-swinger. Chance! Oh, it's flicked on! Well, it was bound to happen. St George were knocking and knocking and knocking at the door. And that was bound to happen. Bay Antonio gets the goal. But again, you watch the skill by Casella in the corner. The ball was headed back in. It's Casella who, well, I should say, was scored by Antonio, but the setup by Calagiru. So it was Casella who took the corner. Calagiru gets the header back inside. Bear Antonio, he gets the goal. It's a great play. It's a great setup. And St George get the 1-1 scoreline, and we're level pegging after 18. So, we'll have it just on halfway here, St George. Chance for them to really go forward. There's a game. We'll have it about 10 yards in from halfway. Danaskos has it on the left. This is where they start to look dangerous here, St George. Beaten. Danaskos crosses it in. It's cleared away. Ball goes out for a throw. Quickly taken. It'll be Cito. We'll work it back. One all here. It's now. Olsen gets it across. Marshavecchio is offside. The flag was up. Flag was up straight away. Rory McFarlane on the spot. Will be a offside call. So 1-1 the score after 20 minutes. As we can see Brian was rolling around for St George. Talking about him, Brian, he's not even looking, so it's good to see he's paying attention. Anyway, now we see Poon trying to cross it back inside, touches off Harrison Busnell. I should talk about Brian because I remember him back in the day at the great club of Harkoa, and has come across over the last couple of years. St George, so you can hear the fans in the background making their noise like they should. Let's go St George in the background. We love that chant as we're about to see Jaden Casella work this one in. It'll be Casella who crosses it in. And again, it will be saved by Yates. Ollie Yates in position. So now Yates looking, circulating and booting. Raphael Leai, he won't get to it. It was probably the target there, but didn't utilise it. Rodic was able to play it down. Calagiru was calling on the right. Eventually O'Shea's going to go to him after that pass by Antonio. Antonio's now got it. Antonio. He goes back to the left to Cito. Cito going back. Possession once more here. I wonder where they're going to use or how they're going to use Casella in this passage of play, because that will be likely the target. You can see now, cutting through Poon. Poon trying to slice forward. Ball now goes to Marshavecchio on the right. He's beaten again. Poon in position. Poon outside the area, looking to stroll the ball in. He's going to try to cross it, touches off Beattie, goes out for a corner once again. So 1-1 the score. And I think it will be Casilla again to take this one. So watching here the setup, Poon is going to be outside the box. Same as Saurus, as Casella works it in. And that ball is always going to go out. Is it touch Wollongong? Yeah, it's touch Wollongong. So there's a touch by Oliver Yates. Corner that we had this time on the Muddy Creek side of the grounds. By the way, flash score around the grounds.
Are they going to complain?
And I can tell you it's 0 between Manly and Spirit. Manly and Spirit 0 after about 18 minutes. Now the corner comes in. And he was at the back post, Nicholas Katageru, but they won't utilise him. find the target at the end, Johnny Casilla, and 1-1 the score after 23 minutes. Goal scorers are Bay Antonio for St George, and for Wollongong, goal scorers Raphael Leai. There's now a shot that goes wayward at the end. What could have been a fabulous chance, gone begging, but Ollie Yates again causing some hairy. Just watching the way he booted it straight towards Saurus, and then the shot at the end doesn't quite work, but it wasn't a bad effort by Bay Antonio. It's now Ollie Yates. Everybody is pushed forward here from Wollongong. Ball goes to halfway. Now it's turned over. Here's a chance for Sunday Yona. Ollie Yates dives. Ollie Yates will make the save. And now, time to see Yates get some treatment because he's on the ground. I think it was fine, the challenge. I didn't see any issue with it. As we see the run by Sunday Yona. Yeah, I don't think Sunday Yona does anything wrong, really. It's always going to be that situation where it's a challenge between the keeper and the attacker, and I don't see any malice out of it, so it should be okay. Sunday Yona was a good chance for him. Would have been a fabulous goal if he was able to beat Ollie Yates. We saw Raphael Leai do that earlier on. By the way, 1-1 the score. If you just joined us, it's Friday Night Football. NPL New South Wales for the action on YouTube in 2025. By the way, we can tell you that Manly and Spirit no score after 20 minutes. That was good with you. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the Pine. Other commitments, but back for this week and next week. A couple of interesting games coming up. It's a massive couple of weeks. So don't forget as well, the Kickoff podcast is running again as now Casella was beaten by Beattie at the end, and Yates will boot it forward. As Scott plays it down. Now it's Olsen. He gets it onto Raphael Leai. Leai works it back inside. Sinwum Sub has it. And wasn't a great pass to Agmistopoulos, the Port Kembla boy. Ball is booted forward over halfway. There's a decent boot by Mackenzie Siron. Ball comes back, it will be stopped. Yates will now work it to Harrison Busnell looking to go right. Boot it up the centre. Scott, good chest in control. Able to beat here the defence of Pat O'Shea and the like. Ball drops down. Busnell was at the back waiting for the foul to be called after Scott was taken. That will be the case. This will be taken here through Nicholas Olsen. A couple of the Wolves players were straight away going, that's got to be a foul, was the case. If you just joined us, 1-1 after 26. Rodich has possession. Does flick off one of the players. Casella works it back. Now spinning around here was in Saurus, and eventually Casella goes back to Saurus. Rodich utilising the left. Sito and Poon combine. Now it comes back with the ball on from Saurus. O'Shea. Right side he goes, Rodich. Sunday Yona has it. Beats Mashavecchia first time, then works it in. Trying to spin around was Caligiero. Was touched off St George last. Will be a throw on that Muddy Creek side of the grounds. To note as well, O'Shea. That is Aidan O'Shea was a late scratching at warm-up. So Justin Poon did replace him. Was being told about that late change just as kickoff started. Now Nicholas Olsen works it back. Simwoon Sub has possession. O'Shea was on him. Now Sub looking to go forward. Simwoon Sub works it back into Olsen. And Olsen and Beattie, and Olsen trying to work it forward. At the end, it's stopped off initially by Danaskos. Still going forward here for Mashavecchio. Mashavecchio just goes to the right and misses it. Hold on. Rose has seen something in the transaction of the situation. He says it will be a corner. It was tipped off by his linesman. There will be a chance for Wollongong to fight back. In the white tonight, will be taken by Simwoon Sub. Simwoon Sub. The now swinging corner. The ball drops down. St George have fled it for the meantime. Sunday Yona trying to win possession. Yona does a good job first time. On him though was Agnostopoulos. Now it comes down. Antonio kept it at the field of play barely as Sunday Yona was taken down by Antonio, able to work it back. Play on here is Poon. He will have possession. Poon goes back to the right to Rodic. Rodic going right side. Geru utilised here. Rodic once more. Rodic now moves up the centre. Casilla. Calageru back to Casilla. Casilla now hoiks it towards the left. Antonio back inside. Danaskos back to Antonio. Can he get a cross in? It was more of a shot, if anything, and it's saved by Oliver Yates. Stanmore right away, Sydney University and Dulwich Hill boy before he went to Wollongong. There's now it's the Wolves again. Raphael Leai. There's nobody in the middle. There is nobody within sight. Danaskos stops it off, so within sight for Wollongong. St George had plenty of players around. So, a chance now for Sunday Yona. Now, he's going to try to get himself in the spot here, Poon. Sunday Yona decided to go back to Casilla. Casilla now will have to work it into the penalty area. Decides to go backwards to O'Shea. O'Shea gets a short ball on, and again, Geru works it on, and then a ball by Danaskos, and then Casilla, and then beaten. And that situation was Insurus. The ball goes out for a throw on that Muddy Creek side of the grounds. I keep on reminding it's called the Muddy Creek side of the grounds. One of my favourite things I found out. I love hearing about rivers and water areas. Barton Park is a terrific new facility back online. Old St George Stadium, and it's a great setup. And as I said, it's great to be out here once again. We've got to play on the ground here in the meantime. So, Sunday Yona getting some treatment. St George fan. They're singing the "We Are the St George Boys." One of the tried and true lines. Yeah, nearly every club have a version of that. Flash score around the grounds while we've got a moment in the NPL New South Wales men. We can tell you no score on the board between Manly and Spirit, 27 minutes in. The great man Alexander Molchanov is calling that. I don't know why I called him Alexander. I've never called him Alexander in my life. But Alex Molchanov calling all the action there. Don't forget, I was mentioning before, the Kickoff podcast is off and running again. After the first lot of episodes of this season were the previews to the men's and the women's. Now the interviews with the likes of Teo Pellizzeri and Annabelle Banfield are out, so don't forget to grab the podcast by Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or New South Wales website, and wherever you get your podcasts. Sub looking to go forward. It'll be interesting how Hughesnell occupies here because he's got support in the middle, but he also had Mashavecchio on the right. He's stopping and prodding, and he goes back. He utilises here Simwoon Sub. Now it's going to be in Kakazumi who goes across the left. So Pearson goes back. Katazumi utilises Simran sub. Now he's going to boot it forward. Raphael Lehi is there in position. Can he lay it back? It's been penetrated forward by St George, but it's stopped off. Agnostopoulos was there. Pearson, as I said, utilises the support in the middle of Simran sub, and then the ball by Marchavecchio. Simran sub offers Beattie the ball, and then Beattie works it on to Marchavecchio. Marchavecchio now, can he work it back inside? Marchavecchio goes back. Simran sub has possession. He's got support. Once again, he fires it off. And Agnostopoulos has beaten the challenge. Ball worked on by Antoniou, and then it's a good ball down the line by Poon. Couldn't get to it, Casella. It's booted forward by Ollie Yates. It's going to bounce out to the Frank Arrock grandstand. So 1-1 the score. Substitution being made here too. Sunday Yona's night is done, so we can confirm that Sunday Yona getting an injury a couple of minutes ago, and yeah, he's not back. So it will be Tommy Dunn who does replace him. Not the night that St George are looking for. They can't afford to have more injuries. They've already lost 2 players in this game. Before kick-off too, and look, I probably have been hammering this a little bit, but Aidan O'Shea was a last-minute out, scratch at the barriers effectively. I'm waiting for the chime to come through. And there's a runner scratch before the barriers. Wrong code, Nick, I know, but still, I was waiting for it. It's one of my favourite stings, by the way, but I don't know why I'm talking about radio when we're calling a game here. But with the late scratching of Aidan O'Shea, it did mean that Justin Poon had to start. And now that Sunday Yona's out, Thomas Dunn replaces him. So that is the situation.
I've got the seat for AJ.
So effectively, in the last couple of minutes, in the last 35 minutes, they've lost 2 players. I know one technically before kick-off, but still. Busnell lays it back. 1-1 the score. And now St George again attacking. Done. Casella's got a chance. Casella! Ollie Yates makes the save. Ollie Yates, great effort. There will be a corner, but a great effort nonetheless. I'll tell you what, that was a chance that went absolutely begging, I reckon, but they're going to have an opportunity through the corner. But I'll tell you what, Casella, I still believe he's got a goal in him tonight. It will be happening, just when. It's not if, it's when for him. Probably the match winner, if anything, as the ball slides past everybody. Scott will have possession on the reverbing of the ball.
No bottle. Get rid of that bottle. Put it back, please.
Here the St George fans here for the loud noises. So don't see this foul taken for the Wolves. Games this weekend for those who are wanting to find out the action this weekend, because we've got some absolute beauties this weekend. Looking forward to some of these games. Rangers and City's going to be a cracking game tomorrow. St George City and Mount Georgetown Rangers are popping deader. Olympic and Sydney FC do battle at Belmore. And Apia Wanderers, that game also tomorrow night. That's going to be a fantastic game. Rockdale Blacktown City do battle also tomorrow. And then the Sunday games, the match of the round, Sydney United 58 of Marconi, and Sutherland and Central Coast Mariners. So if you are looking forward to just planting your behind and watching some football on the weekend, you've got some great games. I tell you what, all of them have got some form or another of a story. This one's building into a good story. There's Beattie, turns the page back to Sinroom sub. He works it on to Katazumi. Katazumi now works it down the line. At the end will be stopped off here by St George. O'Shea, Tavagiru, O'Shea. And again, they'll go back here. Rodic utilising Sito. He's got Damascus on his left. Dunn is calling for it. Dunn will oblige. And then it'll be Antonio who comes back. Sito utilises here the support of Souris. Now it will be Rodic who works it on. And again, Poon lays it back, and O'Shea comes back. Rodic and Sito combine. St George on the attack. Danaskos. Antonio, goal scorer before. Now Sito is calling for it back, but they won't utilise him, obviously. It was Casella going forward alongside Thomas Dunn. That doesn't work at the end. Poon was also on that right side. By Antonio. He's having a good game so far. He's on Agnostopoulos, who wins out there. Gets a pass on. Now it comes right side from Sinwoon sub. Marshavecchio coming back to Beattie. Beattie, the Sinwoon sub. He's beaten the challenge. Now this will be Souris, who comes back, and the ball is played on from Danaskos. Good touch too by Sito in the process. Now we see Rodic have it from the O'Shea ball. Caligiero coming back. Rodic. Down the line. Oh, good pass too by Souris. And then an opportunity for Casella to get onto that Caligiero ball, but he couldn't. He goes back to the goalkeeper. Yates utilising Busenel. He'll go back to Yates too, I might note. So 1-1 the score, 39 minutes in. Now they come back to the right side. Beattie, he works it forward. Marshavecchio, he's going to get on this. He's Usain Bolt here with his pace. He's going to be beaten. The challenge foul is called. Probably not happy with it, Rodic, but I think it was always going to end up being a foul. So, set piece, about 10 yards in from the Frank Arick grandstand, and probably about 6 to 7 yards from that goal line. On the Brighton Sands end, as now Olsen takes the set piece. 10 of the way, it's going to go back to Olsen. Oh, good flick for himself. Nicholas Olsen trying to drive it in, was taken down the challenge. No foul called, the ball goes out for a goal kick. Will be taken by Mackenzie Searon. It's a chance once more. Ball worked on by Souris. Rodic. Souris. Rodic. So 4 minutes of regulation time remaining, first half action. So ball played out by St George to the chagrin of Casella. They've had a lot of the possession the last couple of minutes here. St George, actually most of the game to be honest. It's a 1-1 scoreline. Goal scorers are repeat. Raphael Leai and Bay Antonio. Sito works it forward. Dunn trying to get possession. Katasumi able to work it back for Wollongong. Yates utilised Beattie. Beattie taking down the challenge. Priscilla gives away the foul. So Marcus Beattie wins his side the foul. Marcus Beattie, what a fabulous talent he is. Now Agnostopoulos works it forward. Searon will stop it in his own territory. St George who are on the attack. And as I said, a couple of changes they've made thus far in this contest. Looking forward to when Matthew Brewster comes on, if he does, for St George. Talent I'm hearing about him. nickname by all reports, and yes, I'm going to go there, is Punky Brewster. I don't get a chance in the game to use it. I had to use it here. So, Wollongong. Henry Katazumi working it forward. Olsen back. Now it's played on by Sinwoon sub. Usnell. Beatty. Beats here, Mashavecchio, but Scott's got it. Lockie Scott now. Can he boot it towards the left? He's got Raphael Lei there. Olsen's on his deep left too if he wants to use it. Decides to go Scott instead. Scott's got Olsen, utilises him now. Olsen at the edge of the area, working himself in, put the ball forward, does reflect off St George. Dunn's got possession. Dunn, he's able to work it to the right. The away game down the right wing. Worked up the middle once more by Poon. Casella's onside. Casella now going forward. He's got Bay Antonio running on. Casella, he tries to take the shot. It did touch off Wollongong. Will be a corner. Will be a corner to be had. So, 1-1 the score. This to be taken by Jaden Casella. Setting this one up. Far post it goes. Works back in by Osurus. Comes down. Cleared away. Kazumi doing a good effort. As it drops down. Sito. Coming back to the right. Ball played on by Poon. Rodic goes across to Caladageru. Caladageru now is going to his right. Casella's got possession. 30 seconds remaining of regulation time. Foul call to St George. We'll look at the board, which will come up in about 15 seconds. Over Michelli's man. Men, I should say, looking to get this goal to make it 2-1 at the break. It'll be the better side of the two in regard to attack, but in saying that, Raphael Lei was able to push the ball forward, but Sito had to go back. 3 minutes of additional time added on. Ball is played on by Mackenzie Searon. Now O'Shea comes to his left. Sito, he's got Rodic. He's got Danaskos, I should say, on his left. Utilises Danaskos. Now it comes across for Souris. Souris able to bypass O'Shea. Comes back to Rodic on this occasion. Now Caladageru, we're watching him to see what he can do in the next couple of minutes. He will be one of the marksmen or the targets. Now the ball comes back. Here's the ball by Searon. It goes forward over halfway. Dunn can't get to it. Beatty plays it down. And then the ball comes back for St George. Inside is Danaskos. He utilises Antonio. He's got to put on his left. He utilises Danaskos again. Antonio is going to be back here because they've gone forward and Dunn's played it over the top of the header. And we'll go out for a goal kick for Wollongong. I think the flag was up anyway for offside. So offside flag is called. We've got 2 minutes remaining, I should say. And injury time at least. Relating and remaining. Offsides of 3 by St George, 1 by Wollongong. Ball goes over halfway. Hitter goes high in the air by Danaskos. Dunn played it down. Agnostopoulos able to work it back. Here is Busnell. Beatty on the right side. He'll be looking to work it back inside. Here is Scott. Olsen. He's got Scott again if he wants to use him. Olsen goes back to Agnostopoulos. Agnostopoulos goes to his left for Gearson. Gearson goes back to Agnostopoulos. Had to stop and start his run. He's able to work it back. Olsen now is pressured. He's able to work it on. Sinwoon sub has possession. He goes back. Busnell was pressured by Casella, but he wins out Busnell. Goes to Katazumi. And Benry Katazumi is able to work it over to the right side. Too deep for Raphael Lei. The ball goes out for a throw on this near side. So 1-1 the score. St George and Wollongong inside a minute you'd imagine in this first half. Hope you're enjoying this one. St George work it back. It's Seriously, a fascinating game. This one, really enjoying the ebb and flow of this. Is now Antonio utilises Danaskos. Heroics before the break. He's able to work it forward. It goes past Intan. Casilla can't flick it on. It's Katazumi who's able to win the ball out for Wollongong. He's got the ball down to halfway. Played down by Scott. George will have it through Sito. About to hear the whistle for halftime. So halftime, it's 1-1. Goal scorers Raphael Lehi for Wollongong and Bay Antonio for St George FC. 1-1 score at the halftime break. We do go around the grounds to see what's happening. First, the stats. Shots of 6-2, St George favour. Shots on target 3-2. 11 corners to 1. Offsides of 3-1. Fouls of 2-6. No yellow cards or red cards yet. But I repeat, it's St George and Wollongong at 1-1. They've had so many chances, I've got to say. The St George FC side. There is another goal looming for them. There's no question about it. It's a question of when, not if. I repeat, it's halftime, it's 1-1. Manly and Spirit, it's no score at 44 minutes. We'll break, we'll come back on the other side for the second half between St George FC and Wollongong. It's 1-1 at Barton Park. Back at Barton Park, half-time action, 1-1 the score between St George and Wollongong. Nicholas Kutniak with you. What an intriguing second half we've got here. St George have had all the chances, as you can see. 6 shots to 2 has been the big talking point. The only thing is, Wollongong have been holding in. They scored the opening goal of the game through Raphael Lei, who's got possession at the moment. And Lei does shift it back. Sinwin Sub goes across to the right. Beatty goes back to Sinwin Sub. He drifts it across to Raphael Lei. And Lei again has got an opportunity. Works it in. It's cleared away by Roddick. Will be a corner. So now Wollongong start with the vigour in the opening stages of the second half. Short ball will be from Olsen to Raphael Lei. Lei crosses it in. It's hit away by St George. Olsen now tries to have a shot, but really it was rushed. It was on the left foot, which is the wrong side when you're trying to rush in a shot like that. At the end, it will be a goal kick taken by St George. Casella's got possession. Casella now trying to drift across sideways. He's taking the challenge, and the foul has been called towards St George. So this will be a chance. As they'll look to go back to this right side of the field. Caligeru, want to see a bit more of him in the second half. He was calling for it, but they decided to go down the option of Poon, which is interesting from Roddick.
I do a bit.
Caligeru again is calling for it. Well, that position on the right side once more. Caligeru now spins off one defender in Katazumi. He works it forward, does touch Diaz and goes back to Katazumi. Katazumi's ball hit Antonio, and then the ball is worked up by Katazumi up to halfway. Scott looking to work it forward. Olsen can't get to it. Stopped off by Roddick. Roddick has got to the gain here. Roddick utilises the support on the left side. St George go forward here. Ball is worked on by Souris. Duncan again, any control on it. Still they go again, St George. One by Busnell. Scott has possession. Scott now looking to work it to his right, does so. Dunn beats Beatty. Dunn, Beatty wins out. Beatty on the right side taking down the challenge, foul is called. So 1-1 the score. Now again, have a chance here. Wollongong. Beatty worked it on. Agostopoulos has it. Goes to Gearson. Gearson now looking to cut back inside. Goes back. Here's Agostopoulos. Works it up the middle of the Scott. Scott now beaten in the challenge. St George have it here. Boone. And the ball is worked on, and well, Casella couldn't control here. Katazumi one out. Scott is offside. So now again, there will be Mackenzie Searon, who boots it forward. Casella trying to head it on. Beatty swings it back for his keeper and Ollie Yates. Yates will have possession. Score, by the way, around the grounds between Manly and Spirit. Half-time, it's no score on the board. Alex Molchinoff calling that game. Great man, Mulchy. Intriguing game for the Spirit side tonight against Manly. It's a good test for both sides. Manly try and make Cromer Park on a Friday night a death trap. Been smacking teams all over the shop at home. They'll be looking to do that again tonight, but not the case at the moment. Spirit obviously one of the strong teams in the competition. A lot of people are waiting for them to, I wouldn't exactly use the words drop off, but sort of come back a shade. But Perkovic has got their side going, and I think Spirit's transformation over the last couple of years has been fantastic to watch. You know, year 3 since they've joined the NPL men's. Fantastic side. see them in the comp. They did in 22. Waratah Cup success and the like. It's now Wollongong. Lose out possession. They're going to have it once more. Sinwin Sub does offer it up to Lei. Lei works it down the right. Marshavecchia has possession. Marshavecchia works it inside. Again, spinning around is Beattie. Marshavecchio's got it once more. Marshavecchio lays it back. Sinwin Sub utilises Agnostopoulos. Katazumi has it now. Banari Katazumi goes back to Marshavecchio. Marshavecchio works it onto the right. And then the ball worked on by Sinwin Sub. And it was taking down the challenge and he wins it. Souris. Evangelo Souris. Now the ball's booted forward, and yet there's going to be a card here. You can't believe this. It'll be fascinating to watch this again. The yellow card given to Ollie Yates. The fans sort of jumped up for a moment. They've settled down. We saw Casella jump around. He had every right to him, in fairness. Wollongong were having a complaint for a moment. Now will be taken. The shaving cream has been applied. The spot for Casella to boot this one. As I said, there was a goal coming for Jaden Casella tonight. Jaden Casella. Chance for him. Takes the shot. It's over the top. Well, he misses it on that situation. There was another roost by Jaden Casella. Spent time at Sutherland and Mariners in his junior career. Mariners where he made his first grade debut. Rockdale Olympic and now St George. Joined St George last year. Mid-season it was. Now the ball is worked deep to the right, goes out for a throw. Searon couldn't find his target in Poon. Gearson to take the throw. Gearson throws. Wilson trying to get to it, couldn't. Poon laid it down. Ball worked on from Montania back to Poon. Now looking for the ball, Casella. Ball was played out by Busnell. Geru will take the throw. Antonio Caligeru. Antonio again, working it back. Rodich. Poon. Souris back. And there's a chance for St George on the attack. Poon. Poon crosses it in. Hit away by Beattie. Danaskos. Souris. Now done. But the save is made. Ollie Yates once again. But Tommy Dunn had a chance. Gone begging. Up. Ollie Yates goes right. Houston. Leon. Olsen. Beattie. Leon. Leon down the right side. He's got support. Danaskos jockeying. Leon sweeps into the middle. Now it's Agnostopoulos. Getting it back to Olsen. Olsen again. works it on. Mashavecchio tried to play it inside. Did touch off St. George. Ball drops back. Agnostopoulos has it. Agnostopoulos will lay it to his right. Sinwin Sub has it. Goes down the right side. Lehigh will go back, or will he play Crosswood? Now he goes back. Sinwin Sub now goes Crosswood. And now we see the ball by Agnostopoulos. This is Gierson. Gierson lays it back. Kazumi goes back to Gierson. Gierson now works it into the slot. Scott trying to hit him up. Olsen can't get to it. The ball drops down. St. George play it back through Bay Antonio, and then slobbed up and basically going out for a throw on this near side. So it'll be Wollongong with possession. Looking to set this one again, the Wolves. Played on by Sinwin Sub. Usnal, Katazumi. Right corridor to Raphael Lehigh. Lehigh, again looking to work it back. He's got support. Henry Katazumi. Now this is a chance. Olsen, good touch. And now the ball on. Well, I'll tell you what, Agnostopoulos had the chance to feed Scott. As here's a shot! It's gone wayward by Raphael Lehigh. What could have been? There was chances building and building. Not to be. Is now St. George losing possession. Cito, and now this is Raphael Lehigh. It crosses inland. Scott can't get to it. Save is made by Mackenzie Siron. McKenzie will be able to work it on to the left. Here come the St. George FC squad. Dunn now working it to Casella. Casella now needs to spin it back in. He's got support on his right. He uses Bay Antonio. Bay now. He looks and he circulates it on. Kalageru goes back to Bay Antonio. Bay Antonio now finds Casella. Now Kalageru can't beat the defence of Gierson. Gierson works on to Olsen. Olsen now in the circle. Olsen now penetrates it right. And now he finds here Raphael Lehigh. Lehigh nearly tripped over the ball. Raphael Lehigh, he's got support. Lays it back to the left. And now this is Mashavecchio. Mashavecchio again, looking to work it inland. He's got support on either corridor. He decides to stop and prop and then go right. And now it's Sinwin Sub who plays it straight to a St. George player. And now St. George away. Casella, he boots it forward, but Agnostopoulos is coming back for it. Agnostopoulos able to utilise here Ollie Yates. And Yates will have it and work it left. Agnostopoulos. Agnostopoulos again. Calling for the run up the middle for Scott. Scott, too much for Gierson. Ball played out. So score remains 1-1 between St. George and Wollongong at Barton Park. And now it's Busnell who lets it go back to Ollie Yates. Busnell going to the right. And again, Sinwin Sub utilises Busnell. Beatty has it. Beatty. Busnell gets it. Goes back. Ollie Yates. Again, it will be St. George coming back. Jaden Cito. Siron. So Rodic utilised Kalageru. He goes back. Siron. Now Cito. Saurus back to Cito. Cito spinning around. Olsen was on him. Ball comes back, pressure. Siron works it to halfway. And he's lost it, Katazumi. Poon worked it back. Kalageru goes inland. Bay Antonio has it. Bay Antonio utilises here Danaskos, who goes on to O'Shea. O'Shea, Casella, and then the ball on from O'Shea. Right side, Poon. Poon now cutting inside. He works it back across the Casella outside the area. Casella has a shot. It reflects off. The flag is up. And Jake Rose calls it. Wollongong have possession in their own corridor. This is Ollie Yates who boots it forward. Ollie comes back for Danaskos, who goes to his keeper in Siron. And now it's Caligeru who works it up the line. Poon, he's got it, works it back. Now it's time for St George to really start to build up another chance, because Wollongong have started to get the chances more so. Raphael Lehi is going to try to get this. Danaskos able to boot it forward. Dunn can't get to it. Now it comes back for Marcus Beattie. He works it back, Beattie to Busenel. And then the ball on by Sinwin Sub to Busenel. And Busenel working it up the line. Olsen played it for himself and found Scott. Olsen now. He can't win possession though. St George able to win it. Cito, left side, nearly won. Tell you what, Sinwin Sub is starting to really get some things going. Now we see Raphael Lehi spinning around. He finds Olsen. Olsen now stops. He decides to go Marshavecchio's way. Now Lehi. Oh, the flick on. Marshavecchio won't get to it. Saved by Mackenzie Siron. Good chance that went begging, I think, for Wollongong, but St George now looking to turn it on here. Antonio has scored the goal for St George. Raphael Lehi was the goal scorer for Wollongong. Scores around the grounds, by the way. No score on the ball between Manly and Spirit. No score on the board over there at Cromer Park. Now they're down the left wing. Danaskos. He drills a ball on. Casella! No! And there was nobody at the post as well. He couldn't make the run in land, could he, Justin Poon? But again, Jade Casella, I am going to keep on hammering it home. I think he will score a goal before the end of the game, but time is ticking. There is about 28 minutes to go in this contest. Here's now, ball is worked back from that man in Banri Katazumi. Now we see spinning around Raphael Lehi. It's played off St George's foot. 1-1. The Barton Park. Muddy Creek side of the ground. Beattie will work it back. So now it's a chance for Bay Antonio. Beattie decides to step back now. He goes forward, but it's too late now. Danaskos will have a shot low and misses everything again. It's a low effort by Troy Danaskos going to the right. Score remains 1-1 at Barton Park. Ball drops down. Olsen trying to fiddle it back. He couldn't. St George setting up once again. Geru. Now the ball bypasses O'Shea from Casella. Comes back for Rodich. Now they're looking to build here. Caligeru was calling for it. They decided to use Justin Poon. Now Caligeru can't get to it. And that was the play set up by Souris. Score remains here. 1-1. There is 26 minutes remaining of regulation time. Scott, chest. Oh, I tell you what, there was a lot of vigour on that. Olsen able to boot it on. And this is in Beattie. Beattie now comes right side the Raphael Lehi. Lehi now looking to work it back. Beattie. Wollongong haven't gone to their bench, by the way, just to note. Beattie swings it back to Raphael Lehi. Beattie will beat the defence of Poon, of Dunn, I should say. And now he works it on. Take it down with Scott, but no foul called. Play on. A good ball by Souris. Now they come back to Casella. Casella now trying to play. Wollongong will shuffle it back. Busenel, and then it's been won by Casella. And the ball has gone out. The process, I think, so it'll be a Wollongong ball. I think you'll find. And about to see Wollongong make some changes, I think, in the next couple of minutes. Who will come on? Scott has on the right, trying to work it back. The flag was up, but referee sent a foul here. Rose, going to chat to Olsen. Wollongong about to make a sub. You would imagine anyway. In the next couple of minutes, and George also looking at making a sub too. Next couple of weeks they take on Sydney United at home at Macedonia Park, then they play Manly at Cromer Park on April 6th, then they play Sutherland at Macedonia Park the week after, and then on Good Friday they take on Sydney FC at Rockdale Illiton. So Singleton sub on the ball, works it into the area. Going to get a touch, Bannery Katazumi. Spins around here. It's worked on from Busenel. Raphael Leai, he hoiked it high, but I tell you what, it was coming down, but not enough. The flight path just couldn't go down. And the score remains 1-1. St George will make a sub. St George to make a sub. So Poon's going to come off. Poon off and Caden Wright on. So Poon off, Caden Wright on. That is the sub for St George. I have to talk about this. It'd be stupid not to talk about this because I love this stuff. It's the random stuff. So the PA, every time the PA is turned on, it's like it's a school chime and somebody's about to be called to the principal's office in the moment. I love it. It does remind me of that. Not that I was called to the principal's office, but I'm just saying, I'm used to remembering the announcements. I think I did the announcements a couple of times at school. Anyway, the Wolves will have it. Ball comes back from Magnostopoulos. Couldn't win it there, Singleton sub, and now Beattie will have to come back for it. Yeah, I actually think I did the school announcements at one point. Dangerous leaving me with a microphone as, Site got in a bit of hairy carry of Rodich. The ball was played back. And the ball is on from Ciron. And now it's headed by Gierson, and it'll go out for a throw. So it'll be taken for St George. There is a goal looming here for St George. Let's see if they can score in the next couple of minutes. Already getting a couple of touches here. Here's in right. Caden Wright works on to Casella. Casella, could he go for Hoyk? He decides to go to Calagiero on the right. He's got Bay Antonio. He has a shot. Reflects off Gierson. Petey has to clear it away. It goes to Cito. Hits it down. Then a head on by O'Shea. Cito beaten in the challenge by Olsen. Olsen now laying it back. And now St George trying to go forward. Nick Olsen works on the Scott. So Wollongong now looking better with the ball. St George couldn't do much with it in the microsecond they had it. As now the ball drops back for Scott. Now can he work it on? He's going to step, and he's going to work it eventually to the right. Mashavecchia has it, goes to Beattie. Beattie now, can he get across in? The ball goes to the middle. Cito played it away. Dunn now trying to clear it. Mashavecchio's there. He was taken down. The challenge done, and that will be a foul going to St George. Mashavecchio gives it away. That is the situation, 1-1 the score. So there is a goal coming. Just a question of when, not when, not if. As Wollongong will have it about 15 yards from halfway. Come back to this left side. Banmi Katazumi lays it back to Agnostopoulos. Stopoulos goes on to Raphael Leai, touches off St George. Ball goes out for a throw. Raphael Leai will allow Gierson to take it. It's starting to get cooler at the moment. Throw taken. Gearson comes back, trying to win possession. Well, there will be a foul going the way, and it's the right call. Wollongong now for Gearson, deciding to go right. Score, if you just joined us, is 1-1 at the stadium. Barton Park, one of the great new facilities online for St George. And sub goes back. Now it's played back by Busnell. It's going to be worked forward by Yates, and then Kanazumi, well, he got the touch away to Gearson, but Antonio wanted to get it, couldn't. Now Gearson works it to his left. Raphael Leai's got a chance. He works it back to the right. Beatty, he's going to stop. He's going to look to his right. He tried to play to Marshavecchio. Had other ideas, though, St George defence, and they went out. Souris good workers now. They're on the right side. Ball goes across to Bay Antonio. It comes back now for Wright. Wright works it to the right side. Again going forward is Incito. He works it to the left. And he finds Dunn. Dunn goes back inside. Danaskos, Dunn. Danaskos calling for it. He's got it now. Danaskos works it on. Dunn won't get there. Beatty clears. And it'll drop back. Marshavecchio couldn't get to it. And a good clearance by Beatty once more. Danaskos was trying to go for a gallop. Next couple of weeks for St George is intriguing as well. They take on City at Penshurst Park next week, then back at Barton Park for a clash against the Maroons, and Blacktown City at Landon the week after that, and then they play against Sydney United 58 at Barton Park. So next couple of weeks are intriguing. Back here at the park, it's now Kalageru who has it. He decides to work there. Bay Antonio now. He works it back inside. Right, spinning around. Right. Then it's flicked across, and Beatty tries to head it to the sky. Then a header again by St George. I tell you what, didn't do much. And to be brutally honest by Souris, he tried it again. This time it's a better effort. Casella has on the left. Beatty's on him, but he works it back, and then the ball back inside was not too bad too by Danaskos. It drops down. There's a goal coming here. Wright works it back, and now it's Kalageru who works it back inside. O'Shea finds his support right. He bounces, takes a shot, ricochets off Sinwin sub, and then they go forward again here, St George. Prize of St George, but the referee says continue play. They come back to the right side. Raphael Leai was trying to work it forward. Saints will have to work it back, and they do so through Rodich. Comes back to Mackenzie Searon. Now he goes back to Rodich on the right. Mackenzie Searon weeks it to halfway. Yeah, he gave away the foul. Battery Kakazumi. It's the right call too, I might note. As again, they'll have possession here. Bay Antonio goes to Dunn. Dunn goes across the right. Right now, spears it wide. Casilla can't get to it. Danaskos will. Danaskos has got Casilla behind. He utilises him. Casilla now outside the area. Beatty beats him in the challenge. And then trying to work it forward is Marshavecchio. He gave it away. Casilla has it. And again, he goes back and he finds his Souris. And Souris, he offers it back. And Cito will look to work it forward. And again, it's a ball on by Danaskos. Here's a chance for Casilla to cross it back inland. It's cleared away. I'll tell you what, St George had a chance when begging once more. Score remains 1-1 with 16 and a half remaining in regulation time. Another sub for St George. So coming off will be Thomas Dunn. And coming on will be in Harrison Farrow. Sorry, I heard the game, the school bell in the background, the announcement board. Wollongong, waiting for them to make a sub. They haven't quite yet. I think so. They've been waiting to. They're all warming up, and that's about it. Foul called at St George. Got to remember, Dunn obviously came on early when he replaced Sunday Yona. So obviously, Michelli making his call, thinking it's time to bring Farrow on in this situation. Tell you what, Michelli will be wanting this goal to come soon for his side. Now, a win at home would be so vital. We've been in this contest up to their eyeballs. Scott spinning around the former Wanderer. Oh, good work by Scott. Olsen's in position. The flag is up. The flag came up straight away. Yards shy of the halfway, the ball was played on. Now, Calageru and Casella link up. Casella now, what's he going to do? Decides to shuffle it back. O'Shea, and now working it back is Saurus, and then O'Shea and Rides. He couldn't find the target in Farrow. It comes back, and now Wollongong on the attack. It's Beattie. Beattie down the right tram line. He tried to work it forward. It does flick back for St George. Farrow got himself involved, same as Wright, who's got possession again. Danaskos gave it to him. Now Casella has a shot. Oh, it bounces off the keeper. It's in! St George have scored! The celebration by the man who's just came on, and Harrison Farrow. He gets the scraps, but that could have been Casella's. It bounced off Ollie Yates. And that is a good goal by St George, and they lead at Barton Park. That is a beautiful goal. That is a beautiful goal. And the crowd go up as one, and they've got the lead, St George. So, can they get another? I think they can, to be brutally honest. So now, it's a chance for the Wolves down this right side to really build up. They're down 2-1 now. All of a sudden behind on the scoreboard, have not been that way throughout this game. As now St George looking to go 2 goals up. Casella has possession again. Flag did go up, so it'll be a offside call.
You hate Crocs.
Anyway, there's a chance for Wollongong on the set-up. They will love to set up a goal here. 12 minutes remaining in regulation time at Barton Park. If you just joined us, they've scored 2 goals. The St George side through Bay and Tony, and also Harrison Farrow. So now, St George coming to the right side, defensively on the left, I should say, but Wollongong on the right. Nashavecchia trying to work it back to the right. The Saints will have possession now. The spin around is Saurus. He comes back. Raphael Lehi couldn't win it out. Wright's got it again. And now St George are building over halfway. This is Calageru. And now it's Casella. And it comes back to Rodic. Now they come again down this right corridor. Too much on it by Saurus. Going to find Calageru in space. So now, Beattie's over halfway. Beattie going forward. Mashavecchio's there. He goes back to Beattie. Beattie now works it in. Scott. Mashavecchio played back, and now St George have it again. St George looking for a goal. It's got to come again here, you'd imagine. They tried to win out, they couldn't. Wollongong win it through Scott. Scott now going forward. Lockie Scott Raphael Leai. He goes back to Gierson. Gierson now looking to take a shot himself. He stops. He goes back to the left. Olsen now got it inside the area. Olsen, he beats one man, trying to work it back inside. He does so. And now Mashafekio, save is made. It's a good effort by Mackenzie Seron. Oh, that's a great effort by Mackenzie. The former Wanderer boy has made a delightful save. 3 shots on target by the Wolves. There is a goal bound to happen now for the Wolves. You've just been feeling it throughout the evening, both sides. Ball's headed away, comes back, Olsen. He's going to stop here, can't take a shot here. Working on to Raphael Leai. Leai now waits for Olsen, but he decides to cut back inland. Good selling of the dummy for everybody. As now the ball comes back to Agnostopoulos. Agnostopoulos comes back to the right. Sinwun Sub has it, he stops, and now he looks to deliver a ball on. And the header by Katazumi, it does spin across the golden head. And now it's chance once more for St George. Farrow works it back inside. Ball is worked over halfway. Here's Casella on a run. Casella needs support. Calageru's going to be in position here. Casella does go to Calageru. Nicholas looking to spin it back. He does so. He finds his support. Souros. Tanaskos. And now it's on the left. Farrow, who scored a goal before, looking for another. St George coming back for the moment. Possession game here, which is not a bad option when you think about it. We're looking to set up. There is a goal bound to happen again here on this play. You just can feel that St George are not done with this one yet. Calageru able to work it back. Now it's Rodic. And Rodic looking to spin it back to Calageru. Calageru once more. Up the middle. And Souros plays it back. As I said, they're playing the possession game here. Interesting. Cito works up the halfway. The wind is picking up. As Busnell heads it. And it goes past Olsen. Cito had to work it back to Danaskos. He lobs it up to Muddy Creek. Side of the ground. And it's headed down by Beattie. I thought it was going to end up in the creek at one point. It was up high in the air, but it did come down. As now comes back to Casella. Raphael Leai is just sneaking around, by the way, as the ball is played up by Gierson. Wollongong can't set up those. St George just stifle it forward. And that's all they do. The ball will come back to Ollie Yates. Ollie Yates utilising the support of Bannery Katazumi. Sinwun Sub has it. Then it's flicked on by Marshavecchia. Olsen nearly put his hand on the ball. Olsen was trying to win it, couldn't. Ball dropped down. Olsen can't get to it. Played back. And O'Shea did his work there as the ball will be touched off. And once more, Calageru will work it on to his keeper and Seron. The ball drops down by Agnostopoulos. He didn't do much with it. St George now have it on this right side. You can hear the fans in the background. Souros works it back, and this will be trying to be played up the line by Calageru. Did touch off Wollongong, so it'll be another throw. So, ball comes up the halfway. And he was taking down the challenge here, Farrow, and he'll get the foul go his way.
Qué barbaridad. Cuando termina de explicar lo que quiere hacer, esto tiene la hora. Es una girada, loco. Hace 20 minutos le tengo que explicado eso.
So, chance once more for Wollongong. It's Olsen who's got it. Olsen works it on to Raphael Leai. Raphael Leai now trying to have a shot. I reckon it did deflect off St George, and yes, it will. It'll be a corner. Now it's a chance once again. This to be taken by Sinwun Sub. Henry Katazumi, he'll be bouncing around looking to use his golden head. It goes past him. Ball bounces back to Raphael Leai. Raphael Leai, what's he going to do here? He works it back. 2-1 the score at Barton Park. Ball goes back to Agnostopoulos. Now it's Marshavecchia. Marshavecchia working it on. Here's Sinwun Sub again. Goes out for a goal kick. Sub will be made. 3 subs for Wollongong. So triple sub does see Duarte come on. I think Gigason's going to make his way off. Now it's Mashavecchia coming off first. Then the next slobbered subs, I think Beatty's about to come off, I think. Gigason is coming off, by the way. Those other 2 players coming on will be in Gray and Ball. So there's his subs right there. They're being changed as we speak. Stopoulos coming off the field. Beatty was actually suckering me in a little bit. He was going for a drink of water. He wasn't going off the field. So, let's see what happens here. Gigason, Mashavecchio, and Agnostopoulos off the field. On, as I said, Liam, Ball, Duarte, and Gray, I think he'll find. So, what can they offer up here? The Wolves. Can they get a goal to level it up? Inside 4 minutes of regulation time. Farrow works it back. Now it's a chance for Casella to go forward. Tell you what, it's a chance for Casella indeed. Casella now has a shot. Oh, it was close again. Not to be. Awfully close. Awfully close. Not the case. So the Oliver Yates looking to hoik this one downfield. Yates boots it over halfway. Controlled by Scott. Played away by O'Shea. Comes down. Scott lobs it up. They're running across for it. He can't get to it initially there in Gray. It's played away by Mackenzie Searon. Now it's played down by Casella. Now it comes across. It's a ball on. And that's a good pass too by Saurus. And then it's a Scott. He's able to find support. No, he couldn't get to it, Bay Antonio. Well, stopped down by Busnell, but he won it again there as it will be a corner. It did touch off Wollongong, but Farrow tried to have a shot, not to be. I was trying to get excited about what was happening. It was involved in it. Bay Antonio trying to lob a ball back inside. I was getting lost in my own thoughts for a second. Corner about to be taken. Jaden Casella once more. Jaden Casella to take this corner. Casella boots it in. Saved. Good work by Oliver Yates. Now he boots it over halfway. Raphael Leai is able to control. He's lost it. And then it's booted away. This is interesting. It's actually touched Wollongong last. It was booted by Saurus and then did touch off Raphael Leai in the process. It's all happening. It's all happening. So, St George, their own corridor. Got to do something, Cedo. Antonio get involved, Saurus as well. All played back by Wright. O'Shea. Now it's worked on by Danaskos. Here's a chance building for Farrow. Yeah! How? How did he miss it? How did he miss it? That would be the question. I cannot believe what we've just witnessed. There was a goal building and he's missed it. It's 2-1. Farrow nearly had a double. Just watching it, how he missed it. Ball comes inside. Yeah, he's played on the wrong side of the netting. It went through the keeper, but it was the wrong side. Well, that should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. So, we're in injury time now. We'll have 3 minutes of it. Corner will be had. Wollongong are going to have a chance here. Then picking up. Corner had. Ball drops down. Oh, had to be pushed away. Has done so. St George. But yes, there should have been a chance for Wollongong. Probably gone begging there, to be honest. So, St George and Wollongong. 2-1. It is St George leading this one. They're looking for a leveller here. Wollongong have not lost this season. Is another draw building. It would be their 5th for the season. Ball is going to bounce past his Sinwin sub for Wollongong. Here's Farrow on the charge. Trying to boot the ball forward. Farrow. St George want their 2nd win of the year. As we're about to see some cards given here, I think. Now, settle down. Nearly about to see it escalate. Farrow taking the challenge and Wolves able to have the throw, but for a second I thought there was about to be a card given. I've seen a couple of scraps in this game today. He's trying to win the ball here. Farrow on the left side. He's done so. He works it back inland. Here's right. He'll try to set it up here. Works it to the right corridor. It's gone into the feet of Kalageru. Kalageru now looking to circulate back. He's got a defender on him here. He does beat here the defence of Duarte, and then he tried to spin the ball back inside. Well, it's all going on. Eventually, Antonio couldn't beat the fence. Giroux was there initially, then Antonio afterwards. As now the throw comes in, Olsen. Olsen now, he beats one defender, goes back inside, he's Beattie. We've got 30 seconds roughly of this contest. Beattie now going forward. Then it's booted away by Jaden Cito. About 25 seconds here at Barton Park. 2-1, St George lead Wollongong. Wollongong have not lost this season. As the ball goes to Duarte, no control. It's played down by Kalageru. Yep, the foul goes St George way. Now we've got about 5 seconds roughly, but he's coming across here. Jake Rose, he's given a yellow card to one of the St George coaching staff too, I might know. So, this game is about to end. St George about to have their 2nd win of the season. Harrison Farrow and Bay Antonio, the goal scorers for St George. Raphael Leai for Wollongong. Wollongong about to have their 1st loss of the season. It's a big story tonight coming from Barton Park. Mackenzie Searon about to deliver this forward. He does so. Whistle in the mouth. And that's it. St George win their 2nd game of the season. Wollongong lose their 1st for the year. 2-1 St George, too good for Wollongong. The goal scorers of Farrow and Bay Antonio. Harrison Farrow will remember this. His 1st goal for St George in 1st grade. And Raphael Leai, well, he was the man that scored the opener for Wollongong. Full time, 2-1 the score. It was 14 shots to 6 for St George. On target, 5 to 3. Corners of 12 to 5. Offsides of 5 to 3. Fouls of 12 to 12. 1 yellow card given to Wollongong. The full-time score, 2-1 to St George in what was a fabulous game of football. I cannot believe how good this game delivered up. It was always expected to. It's probably a shame that the man I thought that was going to score, Jady Casella, didn't actually get that goal. He was he had a couple of chances. In fairness, he set up that goal for Harrison Farrow. That could have been his goal. Not the case. Anyway, around the grounds, close to full-time. Spirit are leading Manly 1-0. And we can tell you the fixtures for this weekend. Rangers St George tomorrow. That's St George City. Olympic and FC do battle tomorrow. RPL Wanderers tomorrow. Rockdale Blacktown tomorrow. Sydney United 58 at Marconi on Sunday. And Sutherland and St George. Sutherland and Central Coast, I should say, do battle. Wolves next week. It's a big game now next week for them. They take on Sydney United 58 at Macedonia Park. Looking forward to that game next weekend. And for the St George FC side, it's a derby next week. They take on City at Penshurst. Hope you've enjoyed it. 2-1. It was St George, too good for the Wollongong Wolves. Nicholas Goodniak signing off on Football New South Wales on YouTube. We'll chat to you later. Bye-bye for now.